All right, y'all, part two on the two witnesses and the woman and the dragon and such, because I've told you in the past, we're going from the spiritual to the carnal. And as we go through the spiritual to the carnal, we're seeing this white horse rider, the pale, the black, whatever, right? We've been tracking these. And as they're getting closer, we're seeing the horses run without the riders. Okay, so this is where the riders are taking back, all right? They're going into the kings of the earth in a matter of speaking, and the horses, they're going from a spiritual riding to the carnal riding, and then the people of the world are basically riding the backs of those horses that we're seeing that are bareback, and that bareback is for the bear and the feet of the bear that's coming, and the bear is tied to California in one way. That Cali, that Cal-li, that is a representation for the AC on the flip side, the CA. But this is in that Ka for that crow, that warning. But this is just like a spiritual place that they can read to tell them about what's coming over to the Cal-li area, that Brain Washington, worship his name and number, where they look back at the dawn of time, where we have Adam, then Jesus is the second Adam, so-called, Paul says, bringing back that Jew religion. And then we'll have the Jew religion today, that carnal Jew per se, looking back at the begotten Son, the dawn of time. So we're going from like the carnal representation to the inward spiritual representation to the full-blown real representation. Everything is being told in a backwards sort of fashion. The beginning is declared from the end. So they're telling us things about the future in the past. Okay, so we don't even know what the past is. It's just all fucking stories. So we gotta put together all the words of God and put them together into the big picture. But they keep you locked in confinement saying, this is the word of God. This Bible, preserved by God. And then once you realize that God is light and we're the lampstands, that man is preserving these things, and man, God is the government, God is us, the United States, it's us as man, it's all these different things, it's layers. But this is where America is protected and preserved in one way, and it's also destroyed in another way. And these things is where the eagle has two wings set up in one way, shape, or form. But as the two wings are set up in a left and right carnal instance, there's a left and wing set up in a spiritual instance where you can seek refuge. But those aren't set up as far as how we see them. They're set up within us, and we have to find them. And you find them by going up all the candlesticks, by going up all the lights. Hey, this light says that light over there is wrong. I'm going to go over there and check it out. Or I'm going to find out what makes this light tick. I'm going to figure out what this candlestick is made out of. And all these little things. And how it's connected to the base and the foundation. And where the foundation goes. And how it connects to this other candlestick. And this is how we gain the knowledge of the candlestick, of the seven-headed beast, of the trumpets, of the seals, of the vials, all these things that's playing out in our world to bring a change in the new heaven and new earth that's setting up as the old one is consumed in flames. So the beast, the horseman, the white horse, the black horse, the pale horse, these things, these are playing out in a backwards fashion because we have the forward and the backwards, okay? And then since we're going to have the forward of the number one, and then we're going to have the forward of the number one with Eric Stoltz too, and then the number one going backwards, then we have the number two unfolding. And then once number two unfolds, that's when number three is overlapping the two as it's filming at the same time. And then the three is playing out after the two, when the two goes in rewind at the same time. So that's where we see the DNA helix or whatever with the world stage. So as these beasts of the sea and the beasts of the earth is rising, it's after the woman is persecuted. Okay, so we can track this back to now, how we can see the BRICS coming onto the scene and the petrodollar going to be taken away or whatever, because that's with the flood. And we see that flood is now with the rainbow, with the northern lights and the aurora, the lion coming, borealis, the borealis. That flood and the flood waters for the 4D, the 40,000 on the Dow or whatever, this connects to that flood time frame. So we could see the 40 days and 40 nights. Maybe those are combined day and night together, or maybe those are separated. And then those day and nights also connects to that day and night overlay on the filming of the 89 and 90 and the trilogies of the BTTF. So we can see how this woman is persecuted with these flood waters, and it's all lining up. And these can be done with the money. It can be done with the oil. It can be done with the storms, with physical rains and those types of things. We'll see how all this plays out on the world stage as far as how the mirrors keep the focal points. But the dragon year is this year, and this is the year the woman is persecuted, and then that man-child is given birth. And we can see how those who are under the testimony of Jesus Christ are persecuted, because they're seeing this, that, and the other is hey, we're being left behind here. We're in tribulation. But they told us we're going to be raptured out of here. So now, since our testimonies of Jesus Christ, we're part of those saints that's going to be conquered. What's going on, Pastor? Oh, Pastor. Oh, I'm following a deaf person. Oh, and Jesus says you're the blind, and I'm the blind leading the blind, and all these other things. He says negative about the religious people. And these are the carnal people. It's not just the people in the churches, it's the carnal people. It's just... it's so hard to break down in just one little thing, and that's why Jesus said, you want to know, you got to follow me, dude. Like, I just can't tell you in an hour or whatever. Like, you can't even get it on this simple thing. Like, you got it either way. How can I tell you earthly things or heavenly things if you can't even understand the earthly things? That's where you're just like talking to the monkey. Well, we're the sheep. The sheep is not a good thing. You are going and sitting in pews. There's a reason why they changed those to the chairs. So the people under the church, they will be going into their tribulation, because that's when they're shaken and they're in their final four, and the church age is going away. And as the church age is going away, the nation of Bel, the nation of Satan, the nation of the Bible, all these things are going to be gathered into an area. And as they're gathered worshiping the so-called freedom, they're going into the freedom where they don't have any light, the light's out there, and the freedom where they don't have any brains, the brain, the ray, that donkey sound that is keeping them in. So that donkey you have on your property to keep the dogs away, in a matter of speaking, which is the God on the backside. So so you're in that time of the dragon and the woman people, and the great eagle is here, and the nest is going to be burned, and as the nest is burned, the eagle, as it's learning how to fly, will be its first time out of that nest, and it's going to be some scary shit while it's going down that hill or falling or whatever's going on with that eagle. I'm sure there's a couple different eagles, per se, in a matter of speaking, that are connected to the 7 flames, the 7 lights. But this is really so simple, folks. If you just think for yourself and break out of the brainwashing. And lo and behold, my Bible, this is on page 924 and 925, and we're in that 24-25 time zone, and that 6 on the flip side for the 2026 connection on the alphabet, and then you got the 99 for the double 45 on this back side, and then the 99 is the 81 for Biden and 81, and then you got these are all chapters: 1176, 1177, 1178, 1179, 1180, 1181. If you've been following, well, the 11's tied to that old 47 agenda and the 47th presidency and all those, that L even. And then all these other numbers are connected to, well, it depends, because the 76 connects us to Israel now, and then you're going to have Russia and China alliance or whatever. They'll turn 76 on that next year, and then Trump, he's already turned to 76, and we've seen these things aligning with the trumpet sounding and all as these things are interwoven. But anyways, y'all, we are in the sign or the times of the little book and the little season, and the little book's going to be consumed and eaten up, and that eaten up is part of that 8 up, and that 8 up is tied to the August. And the flip side on the August is the April, the 4, and so the 4th month of the Roman calendar is June, and they got the debates lined up for June, and those were moved from September to June, and that's the 9 to the 6, and I was telling you about the 9, 23, 24, which is the end of the 7 years of the woman clothed in the sun, and the flip side of that could be the 6th month, because the 6 and the 9 are the mirrors, and the 69 is the donkey number. Anyways, folks, these are just some things to wake you up, and we're at that time, so the earth's about to be shaken in one way, shape, or form, and the beast, the Jews, the so-called carnal people under the carnal light that are on the candlesticks, the flames, the children of hell and such, they're all about to be shaken, and fire's about to be brought up under their ass.